Hey YouTube, Tom here from Cased and Glory Football Cards. Haven't made a video in a while, guys. I apologize for that, but I'm coming at you tonight with a special edition video. I'm doing a 2013 fantasy football draft recap for the draft I had yesterday, Saturday, August 31st. My fifth year being in this league, I do with a bunch of guys, pretty much the same 12 guys every year. We do standard league through ESPN. Starting roster is a quarterback, one quarterback, two running backs, three receivers, tight end, and defense. No kicker in this league this year. We had a league vote, and we decided to go without kickers in this league this season. Um, but anyway, it's a $200 a person league. We've kind of upped the ante over the years. But with that being said, this is the first year we tried doing a auction draft, a live auction draft. Normally every year we do it live, but it's always a snake format. This year we decided to do a little something different. So we went with the auction style. I have never done an auction draft before in fantasy football. My experience, everything's been snake. Um, but I did a little research on it going into the draft, and I got to say I was a little skeptical at first on how it was going to work. But after, let's say, 5 hours yesterday, I think the draft took, it was a blast. Everybody had a ton of fun. Like right after the first round, everyone was really getting into the auction format, and we really had a ball with that. So I just wanted to share my results with you guys, let you know kind of overall how the draft went, how I think I did. I'm going to be competing for 4 playoff spots in this league. So we got 12 teams, top 4 make the playoffs. But I'll just give you a little rundown on how everything went yesterday, auction draft wise. I'm not sure how many of you guys are familiar with doing auction drafts, but basically, you don't necessarily have a draft order. It's just you're slotted a pick 1 through 12, and every round you have the same pick. So if you have the 4th pick, then basically you have the 4th nomination in every round. We had 15 rounds. So everyone each round has a chance to nominate a player, and then once that player is nominated, they go on to the auction block, and everybody in the league has a chance to bid on that particular player. Our salary cap was $200. We all threw in $200 a person. That's all going to the winner's pot, and you had a $200 salary cap to fill out 15 spots on your roster. So working with that, I'm sure everyone had their own different strategies going in, like who was going to be targeting AP and Calvin Johnson and Foster and Breeze and all the top guys. So everyone had their different strategies. I, of course, had my own. And when I show you guys my team, I think you'll kind of figure out what I was going for. But anyway, we started the draft around 3 o'clock, and the first player on the board, these are all my draft notes. I was keeping tabs of how much each player at each position was going for in the order they were drafted. Um, the first nominee in the draft was Jimmy Graham, and he ended up going for $38 right off the bat. Jimmy Graham, obviously top tight end in the league right now, at least with Gronkowski hurt. So going into the fantasy season, $38 was the first sold player was Jimmy Graham. And then we got into some running backs and quarterbacks early, but just to give you some values on what some players were going for, especially running backs. And I knew running backs were going to be going high. I didn't realize they were going to be going this high to start, but Doug Martin was the first running back off the board at $60, followed by C.J. Spiller went for $59, Marshawn Lynch 61, Arian Foster 60, Ray Rice 60, Jamal Charles 62, Trent Richardson 61. AP was the most expensive player in the draft. He went for $66. And then Alfred Morris 51, LaShawn McCoy 54. So just to give you guys an idea what those top running backs were going for early, which when I was going into the draft, I wasn't spending more than $36 on a player. That's what I maxed my top individual player cap at. I wasn't going to go over 36 to fill out a 15-man roster, because I mean you're spending $60 on a running back. That's over a quarter of your cap in one player. I just wasn't willing to do that. Looking at some of the quarterbacks, Rodgers went for $45. Drew Brees went for 40. Then you had Peyton Manning at 34, Tom Brady at 32. And then receivers, You had Calvin Johnson at 49. AJ Green went for 42. Des Bryant 44. Julio Jones 33. Brandon Marshall 34. Demaryius Thomas 36. Those were the top guys at each position, just to give you an idea what the cream of the crop guys were at. So with that being said, everyone was picking their players to start. I was kind of sitting back, just throwing out some bids here or there on players, just trying to make people spend some money. I had my own targets in mind of who I wanted to draft. So my team ended up rounding out with, I'll give you my position breakdown. Basically, my number one player that I was going to build the team around, it was depending on which quarterback I was going to end up with. I ended up winning Colin Kaepernick at $31, which was about $6 more than I wanted to spend on him. I wanted to go get Kaepernick for 25. I would have been happy with him at 25. But there's two other guys in the league who really wanted him. So we kind of, took it to the end there, and I ended up getting him for 31. But once I had Kaepernick, I knew where I wanted to go with the team. So my 15 roster spots by position, my quarterbacks, Colin Kaepernick, and Eli Manning as my backup. Giants fan, I'd love to have Eli on an alternate week, and if anything happened to Kaepernick, I'm pretty confident with Eli stepping in for a period of time. Running backs, I ended up with Frank Gore, Reggie Bush, got Mikel Leshoure as Bush's handicap, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, and the rookie Giovanni Bernard. So I got two teams, pairs of running backs with Leshoure and Bush, and Green Ellis and Bernard, and Frank Gore as my 5 running backs. Again, I wasn't going to pay all that money for one player when essentially I got 5 running backs for, I believe, under $80. And then the receiving core I really feel is the strength of my team consistency-wise. I picked 6 wide receivers, and I'm going to have to play these guys matchup-wise. But I ended up with Pierre Garcon, Jordy Nelson, Eric Decker, Sidney Rice, Anquan Bolden, another 49er, and Kembrell Tompkins of the Patriots. So I have 6 starting wide receivers, either 1s or 2s on, good passing teams. I got RG3 throwing to Garcon, Rodgers throwing to Nelson, Manning throwing to Decker, Brady throwing to Tompkins. Then you got Russell Wilson throwing to Rice, and Kaepernick throwing to Bolden. So I feel pretty good week to week with bye weeks and injuries and this and that, mixing and matching my receiving core each week because I have to start 3 wide receivers. So I wanted to give myself plenty of quality options there. Tight end, I only took 1, Vernon Davis, another 49er. Maybe Kaepernick's go-to guy, along with Anquan Bolden. And then defense was San Francisco 49ers defense. I wanted San Francisco. I just think they're tremendous on defense. I think by far the best defense in the league. I know Seattle. Seattle's good too. But I wanted the 49ers. I made sure I got them on defense. So that was my team overall. So I think from top to bottom, I ended up with consistent depth across the board. And that was really my goal. I knew I wasn't going to get the studs at running back, but Frank Gore being a red zone guy, Reggie Bush being a yardage guy, and then the tandem of Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, and Giovanni Bernard on bye weeks, I can throw those guys in. And also Mikel Leshoure could be a goal line touchdown kind of guy for me. So I was happy overall with what I was able to do in the draft. I think I got a good chance to make the postseason this year. We will see. But just wanted to share that with you guys. Feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. And I will try to have some more card videos up soon in the future here. I've been doing a couple card shows down in Garfield again, dealing. And the 2 I did the end of August. Actually, I did 2 in August. Did very well at those. And now with September approaching, I have 2 shows in September starting not this upcoming weekend, but this week 2 of the NFL season. I have week 2 and week 4 in September. I'll be doing card shows Sunday morning before the games start. So I will give you updates on how I did there. And I guess that's it, guys. I got one more fantasy draft tomorrow. Going to be doing my snake draft, which I'm co-commissioner for, so I'm really excited about that. So, yep, been doing a lot of homework for fantasy. Hoping it pays off here because I've got quite a bit of money invested in my teams this year. But it's always mostly for fun. And if you come out a winner, then hey, you just got paid for watching football. So hope everybody's doing well. Best of luck to you guys in fantasy and in your NFL teams this year. Can only be one champion. Probably going to be the New York Giants, but we'll wait and see. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, take care.